What is going on, gamers, nerds, and geeks, and welcome to the E3 Post-Reaction Show. I'm your host, A2P Albert Perkins, alongside Mark Kriska, and we're here today. We're going to be discussing 3 press events that went down over the last, 12 to 36 hours, Mark?
About, I think, just 12. Yeah, it hasn't even been 24 hours since Bethesda.
Oh, yeah, it hasn't. You're right, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so we had Bethesda go down last night that we're going to be talking about, have a post-reaction about. We're also going to be talking about Square Enix. Their press event lasted about a half an hour, super short. And then we'll, of course, be speaking about Ubisoft, which just ended here. Looks like about an hour and a half ago or so.
Yep.
So, yeah, with that said, Mark, what's going on, man? What did you think of these press events last night, man? What did you think?
Okay, so...
Bethesda, they're your favorite, bro.
They're my favorite, except... Okay, so Bethesda, I love them a little bit. I love them a tiny bit. I hate them a lot.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, so, like, what I love about Bethesda, especially like Todd Howard, and actually everybody on the creating staff over at Bethesda, I love their personality and their sense of humor. Like, they got up and made fun of Walmart Canada.
Yes,
they
that was great. Yeah, they're like, hey, Walmart Canada.
Yeah, thanks for all these announcements that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Then they talked about. I'm talking about the good things, the things that I liked first.
Oh yeah.
Then they talked about Todd Howard went out and said, and here's all the new thing for bringing Skyrim to, because he's a meme now coming out. Like, they want Skyrim on everything. So there was a meme a while back about Etch a Sketch in there. They put there was something else they put in there, and then they put Amazon's Alexa in there, which is real. It's a real thing you can download. You can play Skyrim with your Amazon Alexa. So,
dude, that's brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. Oh,
and
man.
that kind of stuff I love about them. I super love about them, and I've come to the conclusion, speaking with Brian, who loves them. Actually, he loves 3 of their games. They're all id. He loves id, which is Bethesda. Man. Yeah. But speaking with him, I've come to the realization I don't hate Bethesda. I actually really like Bethesda. I hate the praise they get for broken games that my favorite games get ripped apart for. So it's more of like an anger of jealousy, I guess is a better way to put it. But because of that, I give them zero leeway. Like the fact that they opened this show with Andrew WK, who I enjoy.
Yes.
Completely horrible. He did a great job. The crowd had no idea what to do. They were just sitting there stone-faced. There was no gameplay being shown behind him while he was performing, so they were all just sitting there waiting for games to be shown, and instead getting Andrew WK. He's trying to hype up the crowd. The crowd wants nothing to do with it. It's 6 minutes of awkwardness, and then they finally show Rage 2. Before they show Rage 2, they bring out 2 people that the collaborators. One is a producer at Avalanche, the other one's a producer at id.
Yeah.
And the Avalanche guy, his teleprompter must have screwed up because he sat there for 30 seconds not saying anything and just stood there. So it's that kind of stuff that everyone's like, oh yeah, right? Well, that's the thing. It's they're like, oh, that's hilarious. I love the Bethesda conference because of all the funny, stupid moments like that. When I'm sitting there cringing, and not cringing in a good way, cringing please just shut this off right now and send me a text message on all the games you're coming out with. The only real game, in my opinion, to talk about, I love what Rage looks like.
Dude, oh man, does it look good.
And I loved Mad Max, the video game. I love Mad Max in general, and this is just first-person Mad Max. So So definitely
blazing, man.
Yeah, so definitely interested in Rage. Rage was shown pretty well, even though it took a while to get there. Some cool card games were announced, some expansions to Elder Scrolls and all that stuff, but Quake Champions is coming. There's new modes in Prey, all this stuff. But the big thing, in my opinion, besides Fallout, is Doom is getting a sequel. It's called Doom.
Yeah.
And they didn't show gameplay. They showed a short teaser trailer, which was perfect. And it's a true sequel, according to them. So definitely awesome there. Fallout 76 is not an MMO, but but it also is not a single-player game. It is, as I talked about how Anthem was considered EA's Destiny, but it kind of looks like it's turning out to be EA's Monster Hunter. This looks like Bethesda's Destiny, where the entire world is open at all times. You have your own gear, your own stuff that you've done that transfers. Like, you can just jump into a friend's game, and then all your stuff just comes with you.
Transfers right over. Yeah.
And so, like, it's pop in, pop out. It's open world. It's all this stuff. So it's Fallout with multiplayer, probably the best way that you could possibly have it without isolating a fan base, because nobody really wanted an MMO. But I don't think anybody really, after what the reception of Fallout 4, it was well received, but not like Fallout 3. I don't think you could just traditionally send out another Fallout game. You needed to change it up a little bit. So like a single player multiplayer kind of game, I feel like it's perfect. And it's the first time I've been interested in Fallout outside of the trailers, because every time they show a trailer, I get like super pumped for Fallout, because it's like 60s and 50 vibes, and I love that kind of stuff, and then I play it and I hate it. So
you're not into it. That's good though. That's showing progress, right? I mean,
exactly. And then they're coming out with Starfield and after Fallout, which is their next big main game. It's a new IP, which I'm super excited about. It's in space, and then after that, they teased Elder Scrolls 6.
Yes, that little, what was it, like a 10-15 minute tease there, where they just kind of showed some of the scene, and then all of a sudden the title comes up and everybody goes absolutely ballistic once they
which I don't mind them announcing it this early, whatever. I got kind of upset with everybody going nuts about it. This game is not even close. It's like 6 years out closest, because they have to finish launch Fallout this year, then they have to finish Starfield and get that out. That's 2 years from now. And then 2 years from that, we'll get Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, yeah. So I wonder if Elder Scrolls is going to be like a next gen.
I can't imagine it not being on PlayStation 5 and Xbox, whatever.
Yep. Certainly looking to be that way.
Yeah. Other than that, there's just DLC that was announced in all their current games, minus Dishonored and Evil Within. Neither of them got any love, but they both kind of had like Evil Within still too soon, I feel like, for a proper DLC, and the newest DLC for Dishonored wrapped up that story. So I don't think we're going to get much of anything from Dishonored for a while. So that was pretty much it for Bethesda. I initially wrote down ugly, because it wasn't until they got to the Wolfenstein 2 DLC and they started saying fuck Nazis and stuff like that, I was like, all right, you guys are getting bumped up to bad.
Absolutely.
But like it rested at bad for me, because nothing they've shown I was excited for. I know other people were, but personally I wasn't excited for literally almost any of it except maybe Rage. And the reason why it stayed bad, and I'm going to sound petty, even though I already did, they came out in a Capitals championship shirt, and I'm a Penguins fan. So no, you can't go above that. I'm sorry. That was it. That was the cutoff point.
You slighting him because the dude was wearing Caps gear. That's so funny. That's great.
In all honesty, that's not why. But But did you see anything that you wanted to talk about from Bethesda before we move on to Square?
I mean, from pretty much what you said, pretty much covers it. I thought it was, overall, I thought it was an okay, conference and everything. I like Fallout. I can't really I can't get into it though. Like I've tried playing the different games and everything. I have a hard time getting into it, but I do enjoy and respect what it stands for. Rage 2 looks great.
Yeah.
And in addition, you can't. I mean, obviously, like you said, Wolfenstein. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Wolfenstein rocks. As much as I dislike a lot of the Bethesda games, I enjoy what they are and what they stand for.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see. The main problem I have is I don't think they're as good as people make them out to be. So whenever they win awards, and whenever they show up everywhere, and whenever people go lose their minds, I just become angry because I'm like, you guys are losing your minds over like a mediocre to a good product. But that's everybody's personal opinion. That's just me. So
I feel you.
Now the opposite happened with me for Square Enix. At first, I wrote down okay, and I downgraded them to bad.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, what the hell, man? I mean, you look at Square Enix, and you know, he's like, obviously, you know what's going to be coming. They have a lot of announcements and everything. I mean, but there was so much that they didn't show. I mean, let's talk about that first. First off, where the hell is the Avengers project?
Right? Like, they announced that 2 years ago.
Yeah, nothing. That makes me wonder if it's like, is this game canceled? Like, is it on hold? What's going on with it?
I have no idea. And if it shows
nothing on that, man.
Yeah. And I've been hearing some mumbles about it maybe showing up at PlayStation. I'm killing that right now, saying there's absolutely no shot because Marvel doesn't want to double up on one. Like, them showing Avengers on Sony stage takes away from Spider-Man. Or if Spider-Man shows again really, really well, and Avengers is just a little teaser trailer, it's going to be forgotten. So,
yeah,
I don't believe
it's last chance. There's only one conference left.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't even know if Rocksteady is going to be announcing their new game on Sony stage because they're usually in bed with DC, and does Sony really want to?
Yeah, have a
poke
Marvel,
that bear.
Yeah,
like,
have a Marvel showcase with Marvel Spider-Man, and then go off and we got.
Here's Rocksteady with Superman, or
like, wait,
Batman.
What? yeah, or like a Flash game or something. Whatever.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
So I don't know if that's going to happen either.
Yeah.
But then no new Kingdom Hearts stuff outside of some story edits. Which I personally really enjoyed. I need to know way more about that story, so anytime that I get even like a 16-second clip,
just a little tidbit,
But it's essentially the same trailer that was shown at Xbox, only the story beat at the end when the theme song kicks in, that was different. So I appreciated that, but it's still, they closed the show with it like it was their crown jewel, and it is. Kingdom Hearts is their crown jewel, but like, don't show it on the Xbox stage then. Keep it. That would have blown up. That would have blown up if that's how you ended the show and nobody said anything on it.
Yeah, I just banged the mic there. Sorry about that. Yes, you keep it on your own stage. Don't worry about, what... having it at the what was it, Xbox conference?
Yeah.
No, have it. This is your baby. You have it there on your stage.
No, not only did they not show it at their stage, but they showed it on the only platform that's never had it before. So like, it's not even they showed it first to the people who weren't even like in the audience. The majority of them probably weren't fans of Kingdom Hearts because they never got to play it before. Right. So, just looking down at these games, we have Tomb Raider that started the show, Final Fantasy, let's see, I wrote down, Final Fantasy 14 expansion, Under the Moonlight, Monster Hunter Cross Final Fantasy 14, Captain Spirit, Dragon Quest 4, Babylon's Fall, Nier comes to Xbox, Just Cause 4, The Quiet Man, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Mm-hmm. The majority of that was shown at Xbox stage.
Yep.
Captain Spirit, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Just Cause 4, Kingdom Hearts 3. All four of their AAA games were shown.
Just Cause 4 did have a few more details as far as like gameplay, customization options with the grappling hook, which I thought was really, really neat. Cool. Yeah.
And
but it's still, like you said, it's stuff that we have already seen here. And I'm actually showing the just wanted for the audience. This is Kingdom Hearts here, playing here right now.
Nice. But like even like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they showed some more stuff there. But like I actually made a note. The enemies seem really dumb in Tomb Raider. Like there's two guys talking next to a computer. like actually talking. He's like, "Do you know this guy's password?" And the other guy tells him the password, and then Laura uses her arrow, hits a building or a rock or something across the way. The one guy goes, "Oh, I'll check that out." Like the other guy didn't even acknowledge the sound. So what are you telling him for? You should just start walking.
Right.
He starts walking over. Laura silently kills the guy at the computer. The guy turns around and goes, "Hey, we have a dead body over here." Not like, "John, what happened?" Like, "I was just talking to you." Or like, "We have someone here. Something's going." Like, no, don't. Like, that should have been hit. Like, if that was me, I'm like, okay, he was fine. Now he's not fine.
No, he's not. Yeah.
It was 16 seconds. Like, obviously something just happened to him. But whatever. Yeah. That game's not done yet, so we'll see.
I feel like that's not going to change. That's dialogue. Thank you.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 14, if you're a Final Fantasy 14 MMO player still, awesome. This announcement probably has you super pumped and super hyped.
Oh, yeah.
You Monster Hunter fans out there, the DLC for Final Fantasy 14 looks pretty cool. I saw people running around as like Vivi and stuff like that from Final Fantasy series, so that seems pretty cool. Dragon Quest 4 was shown off, which looks beautiful. I'm sorry, not 4, 11.
11, yeah.
Captain Spirit, same exact trailer, actually shorter, and had a little bit of devs talking about it. So it's completely free. The whole thing is free, and it's leading into and it is Don't Nod. I was wrong when we talked about it at the Xbox conference.
I was right yesterday?
Yeah, you were right.
Okay.
So like that's coming, and then I made a special note for Babylon's Fall. Mm-hmm. That's coming to Steam and PlayStation, and I think maybe Xbox. I could be wrong, but I've been seeing reports that is. Why am I blanking on the studio? Platinum's new game.
Okay.
And it looks pretty cool. They didn't show any gameplay. It was just like a cool little teaser trailer, but it looks really, really cool. The Quiet Man looks really interesting. It looks like cutscenes are filmed in live action, but like the gameplay doesn't look as realistic as the most real. Like, I feel like that only works if your game is the most realistic looking game that it can possibly be. And The Quiet Man does not look like that. It doesn't look bad. It just like Uncharted 4 and Detroit Become Human and Assassin's Creed. Those games all look better visually. So like it's a little jarring. I wrote down. It feels like the previews before the trailers start at a movie theater. That's this press conference started. Like that's how it felt to me. Like whenever you go to a movie and you have like the movie phone people talking like, "Oh, this is a sneak peek at this new show coming out," and it cuts into shows like behind the scenes stuff. That's what this felt like. That's there was no people on stage. There was no stage.
It was. Let's be honest. It was a pre-recorded video, and then they just like here you go, and they went ahead and streamed it. The glaring missing element. And if it isn't shown, if it isn't shown tonight, people are going to be pissed. Yep. Final Fantasy VII, where the heck is it?
Right?
I mean, there's obviously there's grumblings out there or whatever saying that it's going to be 2020. Maybe in fact it is. It's starting to really look like that rumor was true. Yeah, and if that's the case, then we're not going to see it this generation, I would argue.
No, probably not.
If there's nothing shown about Final Fantasy VII tonight, there are going to be people, and I'm looking right at you guys. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be pissed. Because I'm going to be pissed. A lot of people. Final Fantasy VII needs to be shown off tonight, even if it's just like a, just like
we're still working on it.
Yeah, we're still working on it. You have to acknowledge it. It's one of the biggest video games ever in the history of video games. Like, you can't ignore something like that after you announced such a big blockbuster idea that you were going to go ahead and remake it after fans have been clamoring and asking for it year after year after year after year, and then all of a sudden you haven't shown anything or said anything about it so far. If it's not shown off tonight, I'm telling you, man, people are going to be pissed.
And that's another thing. As much as I'm a Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core fan, and if it is shown off, I'm going to be ecstatic. Yes, give me Final Fantasy VII right now. I need it.
Yeah.
But then again, why have a conference, Square? Why? You announced all your other AAAs at Xbox, and now you're announcing your last AAA that you have in the bank
Right.
at a Sony conference. Like, why have this? Why have it? Because you haven't used it. You didn't use it at all. So that's why you got... Actually, I might, after talking about it, this might be my ugly one.
Uh-oh.
Just because I liked what was shown. I liked the games. Like, none of the games looked bad. I've seen it all. I've literally seen every single one of them.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. In my opinion, bar none, I thought the Square Enix press conference was the worst E3 press conference so far this year, and I know PlayStation ain't gonna have the worst, so I mean you can already give them the shit crown.
Yep.
I think Square had the worst conference of E3. I'm
I agree.
extremely disappointed of what I saw. The fact that it was only 30 minutes long, it's like, oh man.
The only reason EA got a better score, just for all you people out there that are yelling at us giving it to Square, at least EA had a conference. Like, they weren't even part of E3, so they could technically be excluded.
And granted, I'll give them a little bit of benefit of doubt. Nintendo does their own thing too with they don't do anything live, but
but it's after E3. They're like, both of those conferences are after E3, and they're E3 conferences. Like, there's a presence there.
Yes.
That Square just didn't have. Square's literally just sent out a sizzle reel, essentially, of all the games that will be coming out.
Okay.
Not just now. Like, that's essentially what they did. They just sent out, like, here's all the games that you're going to be dealing with.
Right.
Like,
exactly. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Can we talk about it a little bit here?
Let's do it.
Oh man.
But yeah. But that brings us to Ubisoft, which I was the most excited about. If we're being 100% honest, Ubisoft makes almost all of my favorite games.
Yeah.
I have my Assassin's Creed hat on. I am a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I enjoy The Division. We talked about that, but I'm a Destiny player, so that's the only thing that's blocking me there. I love that Ubisoft is one of those developers that even if they see a small community of gamers in one of their games, they support that game. Still, we're still getting... They had For Honor, Rainbow Six, and there was another one. It might have just been those two. But we had them on stage talking about games that came out 2-3 years ago that didn't launch very well. Right. But now have like huge thriving communities. Two other games that are like that. The Division was like that at first. Everyone loved it in the beginning, and then there was no like end game, so people fell out of it. It was literally the opposite of Destiny. Like, everyone loved getting to the final level cap, but then there was nothing to do. While in Destiny, it sucked getting to that level cap, but after you hit it, there was so many things to do.
Yes.
So we had that with The Division. They supported The Division.
That was a big deal with The Division, man. I think, because like I said with me last night, I didn't support it all the way, but they had this small community of people that at least did, and it's kind of kept it going.
Yeah, exactly. And Into the Wildlands is the other one that they do that with. Like, they support these games at launch really, really janky and really rough, and they support them into great games. And that's why I love Ubisoft. I gave them a good, only because there was a few missteps, there was a few things I didn't really care about, but that's not their fault. That's just me not liking the game that they're showing. They started out with Just Dance, which, thank God, I wrote down the note, get it out of the way early, but it went on way too long. It was this giant dance number that went on for like 6 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I realize it's just it. I'm like, okay, it's over, done, just end it, just kill it.
Right.
But then, after that 6 minutes, we got not only gameplay, and not only a great trailer, but also gameplay of Beyond Good and Evil 2. And that game, I was never a Beyond Good and Evil fan, per se. I didn't dislike it. I just, let's say, never played it, never got a chance to play it. Wasn't on PlayStation. I don't believe it was. It might have been. I might have just completely missed it. but I know a lot of people like that game, and Beyond Good and Evil 2 looks phenomenal.
Yes. I know nothing about it. Never played the first one.
This is a prequel.
This game looks insane. Unbelievable. Probably one of the best looking games I've seen so far. V3 2018.
Yeah,
oh,
and
holy crap! Yeah,
it was gorgeous. The gameplay that they showed was in pre-alpha, and it looked gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And then they brought up Joseph Gordon-Levitt, one of my favorite actors of all time. Which they have a collab going on where he has a website called Hit Record, and there's a bunch of just fans and artists and musicians collaborating together, making content for Good and Evil 2. It's the first video game they were working on. And that's not what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be like a platform for artists to meet other artists to collaborate. But I was excited about that. Rainbow Siege came out, talked about their new stuff. There's a documentary coming out called Another Mindset, which looks really cool. Then Trials came out, and then I wrote too much on this also.
Trials
I felt like this.
Was all right though, man.
Trials is always great. Trials is fantastic.
It looks like a revamped Excitebike, right?
Yeah. Yes. And Trials is always amazing. I love Trials Fusion on PS4 and Xbox One, and then this one looks really good. I'm not a fan of like the quirky, cheesy, like scripted things, and like he's walking around, and he falls forward, like the guy. Falls forward and breaks
you can't script a fall. You can't.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, guys. Like, I'm not a child. You're not like I'm an adult. Treat me like an adult. Then they talked about the Division 2 again. Just seeing it yesterday still looks amazing, and it was all new stuff. Man, it was all new stuff. Yeah, like they didn't pre-show it.
Like, it sold me a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe I will get this one. Yeah,
they're
sold me this time.
Yeah, they're bringing raids in, which
is
the end game content that they were missing in Division 1. So. I'm excited to see this. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to... I don't think there's any game that's going to be enough to pull me from Destiny, but this might be a very highly like, oh, Destiny's in a low spot right now, let me Division as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, exactly.
The DLC to Rabbids, the Donkey Kong DLC got shown off, which looks really cool. Skull and Bones got shown off, which, think of that, like a much updated version of that.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked good to me, man. I was like, I was thinking, have you Sea of Thieves? I
actually wrote down that as well. This is Ubisoft Sea of Thieves, and it looks like Ubisoft is going to deliver on it. Outside of like Sea of Thieves is trying to get to it, but it seems like Ubisoft kind of just because they This is I think the first multiplayer Rare game that came out was Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Ubisoft has a long history of multiplayer and how to not do things and how to get things working. So I feel like it's going to be a pretty stellar Sea of Thieves alternate, like a realistic Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
And then Elijah Wood came out with Transference, which looks great. It's a VR game. Yeah. I really wish that they announced.
You'll never see me playing it. It scared the shit out of me.
It looked horrifying.
Yes.
I'm so upset that Bethesda did this as well. All the VR games that they announced, they just said coming to VR. I don't know what that means. Does that mean Vive? Does that mean Oculus? Does that mean PSVR? Does that mean all of them? Does that mean Google?
Yeah, like, be specific when it comes to which VR platform you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wrote down dumb before I realized what it was, so I regret this, but Starlink was shown off. And that was a Toys to Life game that like you can rebuild your toy on the fly for what you need while you're playing the game, and the game will reconfigure. And then that's where they announced even more Ubisoft connections. Star Fox is coming to...
Yes.
Yes. And I was like, oh my god, this is the... Like, Ubisoft, I don't know what you're doing.
Really blew it up there was the fact that, when they announced that, people were like, oh! Dude, it went... everybody just went off.
Yeah, it was... And they brought Miyamoto up on stage. They gave him a cool...
Yeah, it was like Shigeru!
Yeah. But it it changed my mind on it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to play it, but I no longer think it's stupid.
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. And kudos to Ubisoft, second year in a row collaborating with Nintendo. Second year in a row collaborating with them. I was like, okay, you guys sound like you got yourselves a little partnership going on.
Right? That's when they came up and showed For Honored and its new expansion that's coming out, which looks like it's very Asian, like samurai themed, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Then they showed the Crew 2, which that game, I never really liked the Crew 1, but the Crew 2, whatever, it looks pretty cool. I like that you can go up in the air or on a boat or in a car whenever you wanted.
Cool,
so
you can drive across the country and
Yep. And then the game that made me super angry at first, then talking to one of our colleagues at Mammoth, made me way less angry really, really quick, and that's Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, man. Dude, I thought Odyssey looked amazing, and I'm
it looked
hear from you guys now. I thought it looked incredible.
Yeah, it looks so good. Now, part of me is really angry that it's coming out this year. Ubisoft said that they're done doing annual releases unless it calls for it. Origins just came out last year at the same time. So, all right, Ubisoft, pump the brakes a little bit. We don't want to get in another situation of we don't want to get another Assassin's Creed situation. But as of right now, I'm jonesing for more Assassin's Creed. Give it to me. Although
I mean, I know you probably can't see it, but I'm looking at it right now, and so are our viewers. Dude, it looks freaking amazing, and I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a while. I mean, this game, wow, it looks phenomenal, man. Even the damn load screen looks good. Look at that. You can see the with the water there, right there against the dock.
Ubisoft does water unlike anybody else. That's what I honestly was super excited about with Skull and Bones. I remember ever since Watch Dogs 1 being literally amazed at Ubisoft's water. Whatever engine they started using for water, it's mind-numbing.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I got upset, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed story fan, and I have a lot of problems already with the story, with not this one, but in general, the overarching story, because of all the plot holes and misconnections that could have been really cool. The reason this one got me upset is Assassin's Creed requires 3 things for me. That's a hood, a hidden blade, and the Assassin's Creed A. This A right here. It has none of it. None of that is in the game, and I got so mad. There's a hood in the one trailer.
Maybe they just didn't reveal it yet. Maybe they just didn't. Maybe her A is on the back of on her back or something.
Well,
she had on all these garments and stuff, and
the symbol for the game, the logo is a different A. It's a Spartan A. It's not an Assassin's Creed A.
Oh, you're right. That's a great point. Yep. Which was
so
shown at the very end of the playthrough. I think that they had that.
And they have Leonidas' dagger. So the King Leonidas, 300 himself, has a dagger that is passed down to his children. You have a choice between male and female. That's who you are. You're either a son or his daughter. And that dagger is functioning as the hidden blade. Now, I was super upset because I forgotten all of my history lessons, because this game takes place in 300 something BC, and then right after that I looked up the Origins, when Origins took place, and that's 67 BC, something like that. And I was really mad. I'm like, Origins set up all this stuff and you're not going to do it. Then I talked to my colleague, and that's when the colleague said that BC works opposite, works backwards. So I became way more okay with the game, way more okay with what they're doing, and I'm really excited for this game. It looks beautiful. It's more of
you look at it right now. Yeah, I mean, even the combat system looks like it flows well. I mean, I know we're having a little bit of streaming issues on YouTube and Facebook, but I can assure you guys, you can just look at check out the video on YouTube if you're seeing the issues that's being outputted. But the combat is extremely smooth. It's everything about this game looks fluid.
This is like everything about this game minus the dialogue choices and the customization with gender, how you customize your character's equipment, the skill tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're showing that right now. It's like perfect timing. You're talking about that. They were just showing it.
And the HUD all are Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
The combat's Assassin's Creed Origins. The HUD is Assassin's Creed Origins. Now there's a lot more skills. There's a lot more cooldown effects. It looks like a lot more of an RPG, which is really, really cool. Mm-hmm. I just got really upset because I'm like, this isn't an Assassin's Creed. I don't understand how this is an Assassin's Creed. There's nothing about this that's an Assassin's Creed game, minus the gameplay, and that's pretty much it. But like I said, after talking to our Mammoth coworkers and realizing that it takes place way before, like 300 years before Origins, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I'm way more okay with this. If you're going to start explaining to me, like, the setup, like, maybe this is where we first meet Juno and Minerva and all this stuff, and they're setting up the first civilization, or it's where the first descendants of the Assassin Order and the Templars are, like, spawned from, and that's where it, like, goes down. They make the Hidden Blade. I'm putting too much into this already. Like, there's no way that this is connected this much to Assassin's Creed.
It might be, man. It might be.
I'm hoping. Well, my problem is that seems like a very ancient Egypt setting. Like in the one thing in Assassin's Creed 2, when you unlock all the videos, there's a big glass pyramid. So like it invokes ancient Egypt. All that would have made so much sense in Origins, but Origins takes place really late in the ancient Egyptian stamp on time. So all that already happened. All that precursor civilization stuff, the alien stuff, already happened.
Already went
so
down.
So if this is just setting that up, which it kind of looks like it might be, I'm calling it right now, Leonidas's dagger, or the spear staff tip that you use as a hidden blade in this game, is a piece of Eden. And it's going to be magical, and it's going to have all these magical properties, and that's what's going to start the Order. That's what's going to start the Assassin's Creed. And I hope that we at least get to see the creation of the Hidden Blade, because in Assassin's Creed Origins, we see the first Hidden Blade documented, and it's very, very, very cumbersome, and not like it's not made very well.
Yes.
And you don't get any explanation except that Cleopatra gave it to who, I don't want to spoil too much, who gave it to you. So you don't know the origin of it, and you never learned the origin of it. So like, I'm hoping for that kind of connection. I want to see, like, we've seen how the Creed was started. I want to see how the Assassins were started, how that bloodline, like, to Desmond got there. So I have high hopes. Awesome. I'm going to be disappointed. I need to go into this game. I'm going to go into this game. I need to go into it. Unlike I've gone into any Assassin's Creed game, most Assassin's Creed games, I get kind of upset until the very end, because they're not Assassin's Creed games. They are character games that end with the character becoming an assassin. Mm-hmm. And that's what this one I feel like is going to be. There's going to be this is essentially a good version of Rise, the launch Xbox game. And you're going around as a Spartan soldier, doing your Spartan soldiery thing. You win the war or whatever, and then you become an assassin, or start this order that becomes the Assassin's Creed there. So I'm excited to see it. I need to see more. I'm gonna buy it because I'm going to.
Mark's already all in, folks. He's all in. I feel you, man.
It's upsetting whenever you're so deep into a game that even whenever you see a trailer that you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted them to do, you go, I'm still gonna buy it though. Like,
still gonna get it anyway, right?
It's just. Oh, man. I'm excited to see more on it. I was honestly ready to not buy it until I found out, I realized that it's before Origins. So
yeah, that's what's gonna sell it, I think. And if, like you mentioned, if they kind of put all those pieces together, to try to figure out, how the Assassins got started. That's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
And
going to bring a lot of love and joy to the franchise itself and for people.
Yeah. And sorry for everyone if I was talking really fast. We're trying to burn through 3 conferences instead of just one, so we're trying to condense it all together and
we gotta
have enough time.
And we got to get ready for PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. So if I was talking fast or if we skipped over anything that got you guys really excited, please let us know in the comments and stuff like that, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't touch on. It was basically just like, these are the things that I didn't like about the conferences I didn't like, and these are the things I did like about the conferences I did like. So, it's hard to have a live conference after every episode, or after every conference being on the East Coast, just because some of the conferences don't get done. Like, PlayStation's not going to get done till 10.
Yep.
So
at the very earliest, yeah. Yep.
So it's gonna be fun though, and I would, like I said, I gave Ubisoft good out of all 4 third-party publishers that had conferences, minus Devolver. I didn't watch Devolver. Brian and I are going to do reacts. Yeah, or PC. Brian and I are going to do reacts, which, before I get to my sentence, I saw more news coming out of Limited Run, the non-video game conference that was at E3 that strictly deals with collector's editions and collector's items than the PC conference. I heard and saw nothing from the PC conference. So I don't know what they were there for. They're like, hey, we're PC, we still exist. Come to BlizzCon, please, and QuakeCon, and then we're done forever. But Brian and I are going to do a Devolver recap probably tomorrow after we're done doing the Nintendo one. We're probably going to do both back to back.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Because he watched the Devolver one, which I knew he was going to, and he loved it. And I've actually heard a lot of people say it was a really good conference.
I've heard the same.
And it was like, it was meant to be funny and fun. It was only half hour to 20 minutes to a half hour long. So, out of the 4 major AAA publishers, EA, Ubisoft, Square, and Bethesda, I think Ubisoft ran away with it without much competition from anyone.
I don't know about much competition. I do believe that Ubisoft, I do believe that Ubisoft did go ahead and win as far as the publisher conferences go, I guess. I thought that Bethesda did well. Just like you, that some of the games I'm not like too, not necessarily interested in, but like too enamored into, per se. Yeah. I guess, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, they're not your games. They're not the games that you play.
Yeah. I mean, I played Fallout. I tried to get into it. Maybe I just needed to. Maybe I just needed to give it another try. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on the mindset also. I know, like, Mad Max. Yeah. Whenever I jumped into Mad Max, I wouldn't have loved it if I literally had nothing else to play. It was just one of those things that just happened. Like, I put it in. It played like an Assassin's Creed where it's like, here's your map. You have to unlock all the pieces in the map. And that's what I needed at the time. And that's why it became one of my favorite games. But, like, if you're not in the mood or the mindset for a massive open world RPG like Fallout is, you do what I do every time. And you go, oh, yeah. And you turn it off.
Yeah.
So, but you have the Pip-Boy edition, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and I did. I had it for a while there, and I don't have it anymore. I still have the Pip-Boy though. I'll never get that.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That needs to go. That needs to go back here.
Yeah,
all of my other geek nerd wall stuff. Like, I need to get that up on there.
That's worth so much money, and yeah, I agree. It's Bethesda. And I don't think it gave Ubisoft the run for its money, just because I'm way more into Ubisoft. So just immediately, Ubisoft could have had a bad conference, and Bethesda could have had a good conference, and I still would have been like, Ubisoft's a little bit better in my opinion. The only way I would have said it otherwise is if Bethesda had a great conference and Ubisoft had an ugly conference. That's the only way that I would have been like, all right, Bethesda wins. Yeah. But I know there's a bunch of people out there that are yelling at me right now and saying Bethesda killed it.
Turning our stream off. We don't have any viewers right now, probably. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Welcome. But I do not represent literally anybody else on Mammoth. Everyone hates me for my opinions on Bethesda at Mammoth. So
even I do just a little bit, man.
Yeah.
Mean, it's just like, damn,
so
dude, you going hard. You like
Yeah.
roast them, man.
So it takes don't punish the site for just me. You could tweet at me and tell me how stupid I am for not liking Bethesda. Just not only praise Mammoth. That's like it's. I do not represent the views held by the staff of this station.
Oh, that's great. It's phenomenal. Oh man, great stuff. With that said, I guess we can go ahead and be a good time to go ahead and wrap things up. Like he said, if you want to go ahead and follow us, you can hit us up on Twitter. Mammoth Gamers is on Twitter. Our handle is @Mammoth_Gamers. Additionally, you can hit us up on Facebook. Just search for us on there, Mammoth Gamers News. And we're on Instagram as well. We're pretty much on all major social media channels. But where you want to get locked in at is over on our website, mammothgamers.com, where we have all the latest and greatest E3 news as far as the recaps. We have every single recap pretty much already published on our site. So in case you missed anything, you don't want to listen to us rambling on, you can go ahead and check out the black and white written version of each and every single press event that's gone down at E3 2018.
The actual recap versus just opinions, like really fast paced recaps that we're doing that I enjoy doing a lot. But like if you want a very in depth, like this is what happens, this is like what it means, this is all the plot points of each game that we know so far, then that's I definitely cannot recommend going to Mammoth Gamers more.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no shameless plug whatsoever either.
You're already on Mammoth Gamers now, might as well just keep going.
Right on. And as far as myself, you can find me. I'm on Twitter. My name is Albert Perkins. You can find me on Twitter @Albert Perkins. I'm also on Facebook. Pretty much all major news, social media news channels, whatever. You can just search for me. I'm pretty easy to find. So.
And if you want to contact me and tell me how stupid I am, I'm at Lost Heroes 13. No spaces, no underscores. Lost Heroes, like the 2 shows. So.
Sweet, great stuff. And like I said, that pretty much wraps up our recap of those 3 press events. We're all going to go ahead and get a bite to eat and get ready for PlayStation to kick off in about 1 hour and 3 minutes. I believe the pre-show is pretty much getting ready to kick off right now. So head on over to PlayStation's YouTube channel for all that. And then we'll be back right here, same channel, to go ahead and discuss the PlayStation event and let you guys know what we thought and of everything that we saw, which I hope and pray is a video of something with Final Fantasy VII. Square, make it happen. You're gonna let us down. I'm telling you, you gotta make it happen. Do it. So yeah, with that said, I'm A to the P. Albert Perkins. That pretty much wraps things up. And yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and we will see you guys here in the next probably 2 to 3 hours or so.
Yep, we'll be here.
All right.
Hopefully amped out of our minds.
Yeah, hopefully blown away. Yeah, we'll see what happens though. Until then, guys, take it easy. We'll see you.
Have a good night.